Look up on a clear day, and you will see the exact same brilliant azure canopy that everyone else sees. It is the ultimate, universally agreed-upon fact of human reality, a beautiful, reassuring constant we all share. For all of human history, that reliable ceiling allowed us to orient ourselves, navigate open oceans, and map the globe. But consider what happens if we put that certainty under a microscope. What if the most obvious, indisputable visual fact of our daily lives is actually an optical illusion, constructed entirely by our own biology? Measuring the truth of that color requires choosing a standard. We have to weigh cold physical data against the specific wiring of our eyes and the shared agreement of billions of people. Answering a question this simple forces us to decide which of those measurements actually counts as the truth. Let's strip away human emotion and look at the bare, mechanical behavior of Earth's atmosphere. When sunlight hits the gases surrounding our planet, a process called Rayleigh scattering occurs. The atmosphere aggressively fractures the light, causing shorter, choppier wavelengths, specifically the blue ones, to scatter outward in every direction. If you remove that scattered light, you find zero pigment. The sky itself possesses no actual color of its own. The very color we see depends entirely on our viewing angle. Every evening at sunset, the angle changes, the light shifts, and the sky becomes a fiery orange, proving that color is a temporary event, not a permanent property. We can test this by changing the environment entirely. From the surface of Mars, the daytime atmosphere is distinctly butterscotch orange due to suspended iron-rich dust. If a clear day looks completely different depending on which planet you stand on, then a blue sky is a highly conditional relationship between light and chemistry, not a universal defining truth. The mechanics of light are only half the equation. The other half is the biological hardware doing the observing. Bees process incoming light through entirely different photoreceptors than we do. When they fly through a meadow, they see the open sky above them in vivid ultraviolet wavelengths. If a bee perceives the sky in ultraviolet, the color blue exists strictly in the human mind, an evolutionary bias unique to our specific species. You simply cannot separate the truth about any color from the physical eye that observes it. This leaves us with a contradiction. The physical mechanics describe a scattering effect, while our biological hardware interprets that effect through its own specific lens. Under this level of scrutiny, the blue sky stops being an independent fact and starts looking like a private experience unique to the human eye. But evaluating reality strictly through microscopic pedantry ignores how we actually live. Insects do not construct observatories or look through telescopes to map the cosmos. They don't mix pigments on a canvas to capture the emotional weight of a clear afternoon by the river. And they certainly don't stand in front of national audiences to deliver the week's weather forecasts. For absolutely every practical societal purpose that human beings care about, the sky functions entirely and reliably as blue. So we are left with a split decision. The skeptics and philosophers are perfectly correct when it comes to molecular mechanics and biological accuracy. Yet when it comes to macro utility and the daily survival of our civilization, the practical answer wins outright. We navigate a dual reality every day. Our world requires us to rely on cold, hard data, but it is built just as heavily on shared functional illusions. Case closed.